To be blessed is to be worthy of the realm. I can't say that emphatically enough. To be blessed is to be worthy of the realm. At least this was true in the first century. And guess who did the blessing? Caesar. And this is something you absolutely have to hold as you study and learn and appreciate the depth of Jesus' Sermon on the Mount. To be blessed is to be worthy of the realm. The Sermon on the Mount, Matthew 5, 6, and 7. It's Jesus' magnum opus and worth our time to study. And the Beatitudes are his opening number. 9 statements of blessing. 9 direct comments blessing people who don't normally get blessed. Blessed are the poor in spirit. Blessed are those who mourn. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness. And blessed are the peacemakers, and so on. Now, I can't know this for sure, but all the other times in the Gospels when Jesus says, and Jesus was teaching them, or he went around healing and teaching, I believe the Sermon on the Mount is what he was teaching. Luke has almost an identical sermon that we call the Sermon on the Plains. Because Luke records that one, it does stand to reason that Jesus' signature teaching is this, and he's doing it from place to place. It's his stump speech. And I hate to use that phrase as it comes with such political connotations to it, but that's kind of what this is. The Sermon on the Mount, it challenges all kinds of social and political norms. It challenges the very relevance and the very power of Caesar. It challenges what Caesar's kingdom looks like on earth, saying that it's woefully inadequate when compared to God's kingdom. The Sermon on the Mount, it's quite political. But what makes it so amazing is that Jesus delivers this sermon peaceably. There's swift ridicule. You've heard it said, but I say. But it's also said in love. And it's really one of the most remarkable teachings in all of the Bible. And I am particularly enamored by how it opens. So let me set the context here. Jesus is living during a terribly oppressive time for people outside of political power. Rome's in charge. Your access to money or healthcare or worship or public services or even entertainment, it funnels through Rome. On top of that, Rome has made friends with the religious power players of Judea. If it isn't Rome bearing down their hate, it's the priests. Rome controls your blessedness to Caesar. The priests control your blessedness to God. And the two of them are in cahoots. In the first century, there's only one kingdom, Caesar's. There's only one Lord, Caesar. There's only one person who blesses, Caesar. Caesar is responsible for bestowing decision-making powers to those that he deems worthy of his realm. And those who aren't worthy, well, they're collateral damage, peons, slaves to the greater good. So it's in this context that Jesus speaks, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." What an opening line. Jesus is now on the scene, and he's offering blessings. I mean, this is amazing. I mean, he's essentially saying, I'm bringing to the world a new kingdom, a better kingdom, a more just and pure kingdom. I'm an altogether different but more important Lord. And by the way, I also do the blessing, but I'm blessing the downtrodden. For Jesus to say these words, he is pushing against decades of hate and decades of self-doubt. And there's so much in this opening line that we need to heed this morning. For instance, we need to know that Jesus is using a code word, blessed. The religious leaders are blessed by Rome. Centurions are blessed to have their post. Caesar offers blessings and bestows decision-making powers to those that he deems worthy of the realm. So here's Jesus using the same political language that Caesar uses. But Caesar uses it to vilify and overlook the lives of so many. But Jesus uses it to welcome and love. especially those on the margins. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Jesus is speaking to the rejected and the broken, the unworthy and the unnamed. And Jesus is saying, I see you. Blessed are you. Blessed are you who are poor and dejected and alone. Blessed are you, for you have a place in God's realm. I cannot love this more. Think about the people present hearing these words. Think about their individual stories. Think about the single mother who's present to hear Jesus' sermon. She's sitting on the grass, rocking her twin girls, feeling her future won't matter ever again due to her divorce. Think about what she hears from Jesus. Blessed are you, single mom, who's poor in spirit. You might not have a name that matters in this earthly realm, but you do in God's. The kingdom of heaven is yours. You have a place with me. My kingdom is for you. Or think about the senior adult who's sitting a little further down the hill. He has such little time left in this world. His memories are full of regret and sorrow and despair. He's been imprisoned in this culture his whole life. He has no money, no prestige, no power. He's been at the bottom of the social ladder his entire life. Think about what he hears Jesus say. Blessed are you, sir, who mourns, who's been broken by society. Blessed are you, for you might not have a name that matters in this earthly realm, but you do in God's. The kingdom of heaven is yours. You have a place with me. My kingdom is for you. Think about the teenage father sitting across the hill. He goes to work every day, trying to provide. He doesn't try to fight the system. He doesn't resist. He's a nobody from nowhere, and he knows it. But he cares for his family. He tries to provide. But he can't seem to make ends meet. Think about what he hears from Jesus. Blessed are you, young dad, who chooses meekness. You will inherit the earth. Your striving and hoping have a place with me. My kingdom is for you. Think about the widowed woman also there that day. She lost her husband to a war that she never agreed to. Now she spends her day raising awareness, organizing marches, and fighting for people who don't have enough to eat. Think about what she hears from Jesus. Blessed are you, ma'am, for you hunger and thirst for righteousness. Your faith has tenacity and morality and equal rights. It's endearing, for in God's realm, you will be filled. Think about the centurion who's overlooking this scene and feeling convicted about Jesus' words. Think about what he hears. Blessed are you, officer. Blessed are you, for you are merciful. In God's realm, you will receive mercy. Think about the children running around on the hillside overhearing Jesus wax poetic. Think about what their little ears hear. Blessed are you, children, for you're pure in heart. You deserve a world better than this earthly realm. You deserve something more. But on this side of eternity, we have failed you. And when you grow up, it won't get much easier. But in God's realm, you will be blessed, for you will see God. Think about all of the people from out of town who came all of this way looking for peace. People crossing the Jordan or coming from the Mediterranean, thousands sitting on the hillside looking to build a life that no longer segregates or hurts or hates. Think about what they hear from Jesus. Blessed are you, peacemakers, for you will be called children of God. Now think about the disciples and the women who choose to follow Jesus' ministry. Think about what they hear that day from Jesus. Blessed are you, for you will be persecuted for righteousness' sake, for yours is the kingdom of heaven. Now put yourself in this story. You're also one of those who are sitting on the hillside. You're one of those who don't matter to Caesar, but you do to God. Your story matters to God. Blessed are the have-nots, because the kingdom of heaven is for the misfits, the ones on the margins, the poor in spirits. It always has been, even if we never learned it or forgot it. Which brings up a final point, and I need you to hear this and to hold this. These Beatitudes, they're not imperative statements. Jesus isn't saying that we should become more mournful or more poor in spirit. The Beatitudes are declarative statements, saying that if you feel like you're thirsting for righteousness, if you feel like you're persecuted, if you feel poor in spirit, rest assured, you have a place with God. And Jesus is definitely saying the same to you and me today. Jesus sees you and declares, you who carry pain, you who feel broken, you who think you don't matter, you do to me. And you have a place within the kingdom of heaven. You are worthy of God's realm. You may have drugged yourself here this morning, not feeling like you are worthy. You may feel like you're trapped in Caesar's realm and it's too dark or too corrupt or sinful to even change. If this is you, then you're who Jesus is blessing in Matthew 5. You're to who he is saying, you aren't too small in God's realm. You aren't too broken for God's future. And when it comes, you'll be blessed. When it comes, you'll have enough. When it comes, you're welcome just as you are. So bring your tired body and your wounded spirit and your broken shame, because with Jesus, it will be enough. It's in these simple and profound lines of the Beatitudes that makes me see clearly what the good news of the gospel is and what our role as a church is to be. We're to invite the world into this new realm. It is a waste of our time to use resources to build up the first realm. Caesar's kingdom is gonna pass away, but thy kingdom is still to come on earth as it is in heaven. And it's these simple yet profound lines that make me see clearly for what having faith should look like. Faith is believing even though we may not be blessed by Caesar, we are by God. So we can all live out of our stories in this first realm with awe and wonder, knowing that it's the second realm that saves, the second realm that's coming. We can live boldly and freely in this wonder, for blessed are we. Even with our burdens and despairs, blessed are we. Even through trials and persecution, blessed are we. Even though we may not have a loud voice, blessed are we. Even though war and torture still exist, blessed are we, because God is with us and for us and ahead of us, pulling us into a better future, a better realm, a realm in which we're all called children of God, a realm in which you're invited and deemed worthy. Even if you don't feel it, you need to know it. Blessed are we, for ours is the kingdom of heaven.